Hi, this is Ani Colt. I am glad to share this coming version of our interviews on the Tower Coffee Hour. I met Joe Miles, who has been working at the park at Manor and Zach Scott. Some months ago, we met at the fence where the where you can't go on the trail, the inner trail that goes by the Southeast Greenway. So last week I stopped by and said, would you be willing to show us around the park and explain some things? I hope you'll listen and watch it because I think you'll learn some things that you wouldn't have known otherwise. Hi, this is Ani Colt with the Tower Coffee Hour, and I'm here with Joe Miles, who has been working on this project for the new park here at Manor Street at the end of Zach Scott from the beginning, right? Pretty
much a well beginning, yes ma'am.
And the last couple weeks he's been kind of manning it himself. That's right. The last stuff to get it ready, and we thought we'd take a little tour today and get some insights from Joe. So Joe, tell me about this park.
Well, it's a great location, beautiful view of everything that you can imagine of a park for the new environment and also for the new neighborhood of Manor Road and Zach Scott. And my company is really happy to be part of it and being a part of making this experience and having a park for the future generations of people that will enjoy it.
Wonderful. And who's your company?
Flynn Construction.
Flynn Construction. So I remember that when we're riding our trikes, noticed at night that there were some people using the skateboard area, and then there was some graffiti and so forth. And that's one of the first times I spoke to you, Joe, and now I haven't seen them there. Of course, I haven't been riding my truck at night, but there's no graffiti. So how did that work out?
Well, I actually went over to a skateboarding shop called No Comply Skate Park over there by House Park, and I actually talked to the local kids and the people, the shop owners, to tell everybody if y'all would please just be patient with us, because we're doing everything we can to continue the progress of the park and getting it open for everybody to enjoy the park and everything, because I also informed them that every time we have issues with people vandalizing and sabotaging the job site, it keeps pushing the grand opening day back. And after I did that, I have been getting absolute great and very hospitality on them not graffiti and vandalizing our job
Let's
site.
go. Let's walk over there.
Of course.
So I notice here we've got a fair number of bike racks. I hope that's enough.
Oh, we also have an additional on the other side of the structure here as well.
Oh, cool. Oh, let's go see. And this is the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am. This is the bathroom and storage facilities.
What does it store in there?
It's just miscellaneous electrical room and storage for, like, if they have anything they need to add on to the park or any miscellaneous items like that.
Okay. And here we have their unisex bathrooms, or restrooms as that we call them these days.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. There are a bunch more bike racks, and they're in the shade. Nice drinking fountain, including a puppy one.
Yes, ma'am. There is a dog water fountain bowl on it as well, ma'am.
Little shade, yay.
Yes, ma'am. It does make a world of difference.
It doesn't it? This is quite something. This is a sport I have never attempted and have no plans to. But people who do it really love it.
Yes, ma'am, and that's the other reason why I went also to the skate park at No Comply, is so I can understand about why they were hopping the fence and skating this whenever it wasn't a finished product. And they pretty much have the same similarities as a bunch of people, that everybody thinks a person with a skateboard and a bicycle's got bad reputation, and they're just the same as everybody else.
Yeah,
that's coming from an old cow hand and cow rancher from myself, because everybody thinks everybody's crazy for doing bull riding and horseback riding, and I've done my share, and everybody says that's the craziest thing to ever do. But they have the same common ground as we do.
I love that. I love that. Now, how do we get over to see the pump track, is that called?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. Well, we can go all the way around here, or we can take the stairwell down here.
You show me.
Yes, ma'am. I'll lead the way.
So here's the pump track.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct, ma'am.
How long is it? Do you know?
I can't give you exact measurements. I just know it's the biggest one I've ever worked on.
Okay, and I think I heard that it's very rare to have a cement pump track.
It is.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be doing that on my trike. I don't know. My co-host Preston Tyree to me, and some of you, has mentioned that you're supposed to not have to pedal, that you get enough stuff by the hills that you just...
That is very correct.
Right.
G-force gravity.
Yeah. Now, while we're here, if you'll look at these trees, there are a lot of trees here that have been unavailable to us in Mueller. They've had fences around them, and their fences have been taken away. I'm not sure if these are the trees that were replanted or if these are original trees that were on the edge of the airport. And now I noticed, and you had a thought about it the other day when we spoke, is they look like they could use some work, you know, some trimming and so forth. And what did you say, that you have to wait for the right season to do that?
Yes, ma'am, because of the oak trees, because they do have a certain critter inside of them that if you cut them in during the hot spring, summertime, it can actually make the tree dead and kill it, because it'll turn the leaves brown and make it die.
I'm so glad. You know, I think it's going to make sense to me, and hopefully make sense to a few other people.
Well, the benefit of that is having good people, the environmentalists, and also Texas Parks and Wildlife, because I've always kept in touch with them on asking questions like that, and they have been very extremely knowledgeable on that. And plus, since we have a lot of vegetation and native trees that should be left preserved for future generations.
Well, I look forward to sitting under them. And you mentioned the kind of way you're growing the grass.
Yes, ma'am,
here
that
and
is
in the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain that to our listeners and
Yes,
watchers?
ma'am. That is called a hydro mulch that we put out there. It is kind of like a fast-growing grass fertilizer, and it looks real funky. It kind of looks like cardboard whenever you spray it on there, but give it time with it being properly watered, because this was put on here a matter of a couple of weeks ago, and it's already getting green grass already growing onto the product as we speak.
That's great. When do you think it'll be usable for people who want to walk on it and for the field?
I would say it would depend on the
weather.
The weather as well.
So just looking off here in the distance, that connects to the trail that goes around.
Yes, ma'am, it does. It reconnects everything back to the pond that's going over here on the left side, as well as it does here on the right side of the pond.
We're coming up here on some of the picnic tables, and I think you mentioned to me that you had to work really hard on these picnic tables.
Well,
tell us about that.
Well, it's not just me, it's also the good people of my fellow co-workers, the best concrete crew I have ever met and known, that owes a lot of credit, because they're the ones that made the concrete work as well as much as I did. All these tables are solid rock, and they are hand concrete poured. It was a total of 14 bags of concrete per table as well.
14 bags of concrete.
Per table and bench.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the things that are holding it up are natural rock,
Yes, ma'am, they are, ma'am.
So that was cut particularly for
That was cut particularly for here, and those are anchored in solid into the rock, concrete slab.
In some parks, they have an area where it sticks out.
Yes, ma'am.
So that someone in a wheelchair?
Yes, ma'am. We actually have a few of those in various places.
Oh, cool. That's wonderful. So from here, looking out, you can really see how big this field is. And from what I understand, it's an intermediate soccer field. I guess soccer fields have different sizes depending on age groups.
Well, it could be used for anything, just the imagination of the good people of the Mueller Park community.
Yes. What else have we missed that you might want to tell us about?
Well, this is also a very good area right here that if you're also a big bird watcher, we do have very beautiful red-tailed hawks and caracara birds that actually are native here in the area. And you also have the blue herrings right over here at your local water park as well. And I mean, and we also have very specific trees, like these pine trees are protected by the Parks and Wildlife and the recreational and the wildlife. So what I recommend is don't ever try to do anything or vandalize the trees, because Parks and Wildlife will have your tail in a bind.
Thank you for mentioning that. This is a great view because you can just see some of the water, and someone's running on the trail way over there.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know
And
if
we
you
also
catch it.
have the beautiful magnolia trees that are starting to do their bloom right now as well.
When did the fences come down?
The fences that are currently around this project, sometime next week.
All right. Well, what have we missed? I did see one thing over here that I thought was interesting. This on purpose?
Yes, this is a change order that we had to do for the company for them to have an access walkway to maintenance on the storm drain, same as like what we have over here on this other product right here, right behind you. So if they have to have a truck or a trailer, they can pull up here and do work right here instead of disturbing the natural habitat of the dirt and disrupt the soil.
So they'll be putting cement in
Yes,
there.
that is
okay,
correct.
You had mentioned they were going to come do some.
Yes, ma'am, that is
more
correct, ma'am.
cement. Okay, where did that storm drain go? Managing water is becoming more and more important as we have both drought and then huge rains.
I believe this is the drain you were talking about.
Yes, yeah. Cool. And this is just a place that it can
Yes, ma'am, this is
be
called...
catch the water.
Yes, ma'am, this is called and known as a rain garden, ma'am. And this is just for the runoff or any water buildup from the field and stuff, and this is just for the rainwater.
What is this cement piece there?
It's just for decorative design in case they want to do some other add-ons to it later on in the future.
And look at those beautiful trees. Old trees. I have a thing for trees. See a bird over there? Can you think of anything I missed, Joe?
I think you pretty much got everything on the...
Another bird.
Like I said, it's a beautiful area for anybody that loves to do bird watches and stuff, and I mean, it just got a bunch of the natural look of Central Texas to it.
Joe, thank you very much for doing this with me. I've really been looking forward to it. You've done a terrific job both with the work and sharing it with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your time, and all I can say is I have gratitude to the work for my company of Flynn Construction. Let me have this awesome experience of doing stuff like this for the Osage community.
And thank you. We hope you enjoy this, and those of you who watch it before the park opens on the 11th of August, that you'll have a better feel and more appreciation for all the work and all the aspects of this new park in Mueller. We hope you enjoy this preview of the Gordon Sackler Skate Park, which opens August 11th at noon. And I want to thank Joe Miles for all the hours, the days, the weeks, the months that he's put into working on this park, and for our great interview. Let us know what you think.